Welcome to this explainer. When most of us think about cybersecurity, it's super easy to picture a team of IT experts battling complex code in some dark server room. But honestly, the reality is way more everyday than that, and the stakes literally couldn't be higher. A single, seemingly harmless click from an everyday user, like you or me, can hand an attacker the keys to the entire business. So today, we're going to walk through the 5 cyber attacks every single employee absolutely needs to know about. So, I have to ask, are you your company's greatest vulnerability? I know, it sounds a little confrontational, right? But this question hits on a massive shift in digital security. Cybersecurity is no longer just an IT problem. It is very much a human problem. Because let's face it, technology is getting way harder to hack, so attackers are targeting the people using it instead. You aren't just the first line of defense anymore. You're very often target number one. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. First, the first line of defense. Second, email threats, phishing and BEC. Third, system killers, ransomware and malware. Fourth, social engineering, manipulating you. And finally, stop, think, and verify. Let's jump in. Starting off with Section 1, the first line of defense. It's absolutely crucial to grasp exactly why your role matters so much. We really need to catch these threats before a tiny, simple mistake snowballs into a full-blown security incident. Because a successful cyber attack doesn't just mean your computer runs a little slow for an afternoon. It triggers this massive, cascading fallout across the whole organization. We're talking stolen data, huge direct financial losses, and operational disruption that can literally bring the business to a standstill. And the long-term hangover, severe reputational damage, and a profound loss of customer trust. Recognizing the warning signs early is the only way to stop this chain reaction. Moving right along to Section 2, email threats, phishing and BEC. Attackers absolutely love weaponizing a tool you probably have open on your screen right now, your inbox. First up is phishing, which is easily one of the most common cyber attacks out there. It's a classic trap. Attackers spin up fake emails, messages, or login pages specifically designed to trick you into handing over your passwords, financial info, or other sensitive data. Imagine getting an email that looks exactly like it's from your own IT team, right? And it says, your account is going to be disabled today. Click here to verify your password. If you click, it just takes you to a fake login page that quietly steals your credentials. Boom, they're in. And the most empathetic, completely understandable mistake people make here is trusting an email just because it slaps a professional company logo at the top or looks official. But here's what you actually need to be on the lookout for. Urgent requests designed to make you panic. Unfamiliar links, unexpected attachments, slightly weird sender addresses, and for sure, any direct requests for your passwords or financial info. Now, attackers don't always cast a wide net. Sometimes they get highly targeted. This brings us to business email compromise, or BEC. This is where things get really sneaky. Attackers actively impersonate or even completely take over a trusted email account. We're talking about your manager, a vendor you work with, or a business partner. Once they hijack that identity, they use it to request money or confidential info directly from you. Let's actually contrast these two scenarios for a second. A legitimate request? It usually has a normal tone and follows standard procedure. But imagine a compromised request, an email that really is coming from your manager's actual account, asking you to urgently wire money to a brand new bank account. The trap here relies entirely on human nature, acting way too quickly just because the request seems to come from the boss on a busy Friday afternoon. The golden rule? Always verify unusual financial requests through a totally different channel, like a quick phone call, before you do anything. Okay, on to Section 3, system killers. Ransomware and malware. Now we're bringing out the heavy artillery. Ransomware is a specific, highly destructive type of malware that literally encrypts your files or takes entire systems completely offline. And then, the attackers demand a hefty ransom payment to undo the damage. The scary part is how simply this trap is triggered. An employee unknowingly opens a malicious attachment or clicks a bad link in an email, and that's it. Once that door is open, the infection spreads like wildfire through the company's network. This perfectly illustrates the massive real-world fallout of that one common mistake, opening an unexpected attachment. The impact is staggering. Employees suddenly find themselves totally locked out of the files they need to do their jobs. Customer services are completely interrupted, and the recovery process, it takes a massive amount of time and resources. It essentially brings a whole operation to a grinding halt. Broadening the scope just a bit, we have general malware. This is basically a catch-all term for any malicious software designed to damage systems, steal information, spy on users, or give attackers unauthorized access. A super relatable example of this is an employee searching the web for some quote-unquote free software to help with a quick task, and they end up downloading a program from some unofficial website. The crazy thing is, the program might actually work and look completely legitimate, but it's secretly installing malware in the background the whole time. The classic pitfall here is downloading software, browser extensions, or files without thoroughly checking where they came from. The rule of thumb is actually super simple. Stick strictly to approved software. If you suspect you've clicked something sketchy, report the suspicious activity immediately. Never try to play IT hero and fix an infected device yourself. Just disconnect it and report it. Let the pros handle it.
Moving into Section 4, Social Engineering, Manipulating You.
This final threat category is fascinating because it abandons complex computer coding entirely to target human psychology directly. Social engineering attacks hack people rather than technology. Attackers might pose as IT staff, customers, vendors, or even your own coworkers. A chillingly common version of this happens right over the phone. An attacker calls an employee, confidently claims to be from the IT department, and just asks for a one-time password to fix an account issue. Let's look at the attacker's tools compared to the human mistake here. Attackers use extreme confidence, they do their homework so they know internal company details, and they manufacture a really intense sense of urgency. And honestly, it is completely natural to trust a confident, urgent voice, especially one that seems to know exactly what they're talking about. Assuming the caller is trustworthy just because they sound authoritative is a very normal human reaction. And that right there is exactly why the absolute safest approach is to verify the person's identity before you share any info or take any action. And that brings us to our final section, Section 5, Stop, Think, and Verify. So how do we take everything we've just uncovered about these different threats and turn it into a solid, everyday defense strategy? Well, the overarching takeaway is that cybersecurity is a shared responsibility. Sure, the company has technical firewalls and fancy filters that block thousands of threats every single day, but technology has its limits. It simply cannot prevent human mistakes. Your mindful digital habits, those are the ultimate safety net.
This brings us to a definitive, everyday behavioral protocol you should rely on whenever you encounter an unusual, urgent, or unexpected request. Step 1, stop. Seriously, just pause. Don't let their manufactured urgency rush you. Step 2, think. Does this request actually make sense? Is the sender request exactly right? Is it asking for sensitive info? And step 3, verify before you click. Reach out to the person through a totally different, trusted channel to confirm.
The reality is, employees who pause, who verify unexpected requests, and who steer clear of suspicious links can drastically reduce the risk of a successful cyber attack. So I want to leave you with this. When that next urgent, high-pressure request arrives in your inbox or rings on your phone, are you going to take the time to verify before you click? Embrace your power, because at the end of the day, you are your company's strongest line of defense.